Hey, hello everyone. This is Luis Concepcion from Strategic Profit Line Trading coming to you with the plan of the week for week number 47. So as always, this content is for educational purposes only, and I will not be providing any investment advice. Understand that this is not tailored for any one individual, and everyone must understand their investment time horizon. Past performance does not guarantee future results or success, and all investments involve risk, including the loss of principal. So here's the agenda for the week. I'll be covering, as always, the news market overview. As you can see, earnings season is dwindling down. We only have 153 companies reporting this week. And I'll be covering the FANG stocks and the Magnificent Seven. So for last week, 16 zones were provided. Went 2 for 1 in stocks and 3 for 1 in options. And there was nine zones that hit no entry. So this upcoming week, as you can see, we really have no earnings at the ending of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So most of our activity is going to be at the beginning of the week. And if I'm not mistaken, Friday is a half day in the markets due to the holiday. Here's the results for week 46 included with our 3 trades, bringing us to a total of 29 and 13. And for options, we're at 27 and 4. All right, for our news, as you can see on Monday, we have nothing affecting the U.S. markets, only Forex. You got British pound being affected and the Australian dollar. So those two trading Forex, pay attention. On Tuesday, again, another quiet day for the U.S. markets. And for those of you trading Forex, just understand that pre-market, you have the Canadian dollar being affected. On Wednesday, we got unemployment claims pre-market for us on the stock market, and then we have a consumer sentiment at 7 o'clock. So be mindful. That's probably the biggest traffic we're gonna get this week on Wednesday for the stock market. And on Thursday, what do we have? Everything affecting the euro and the British pound. Moving on to Thursday. I'm sorry, moving on to Friday. We got PMI reports at the pre-market, and that's gonna do it for us this week for the news. And just understand that it's going to be probably a slow week after Monday and Tuesday die down due to the holiday. All right, getting into the charts this week. As you can see, this is a chart of the SPX, and as you can see, our zone is still holding from when we called it in the bottom. So if you haven't been long, you should be. And now we're reaching an area again of supply. So the supply area I have for you this week is 45.68 to 46.05, and on the demand side, we got 41.42 to 40.97 that's been holding the market up. As you can see, after the CPI report that projected everything last week, we had a stagnant week. So we had 3 days of pretty much nothing after the move. So if you haven't been long or you don't know how to trade intraday, if you weren't in long from lower periods, it was hard to trade this week outside of earnings. So just be mindful of that we're coming to a consolidation period again. And once again, um, for supply got 45.68 to 46.05, and on demand side 41.42 to 40.97. Moving on to the Nasdaq. As you can see, have the same areas in place from last week on the supply side. The tech still has room to go. Let's see if Nvidia gets us up there this week with earnings. But we got 16,255 to 16,606 on the supply side, and on the demand side, we got 13,518 to 13,227. Moving on to the Dow Jones. So as you can see, coming off the lows, Our supply zone is 350.86 to 356.70. And on the demand side, we got 325.48 to 322.66. And lastly, for the indices, we got the RUT. So the RUT came really close to hitting our supply zone last week at 1838.08 to 1867.62. And on the demand side, we got 1647. So with everything reaching supply zones and coming into supply zones, everybody should be thinking about doing something, whether that's moving stops and covering profits, taking profits altogether, or thinking about considering purchasing insurance for their portfolios. So if anybody has any questions about that, feel free to email me or contact me and we can discuss further. Now, moving into earnings for this week. Oh, LGEN on Monday for demand, I have 51.62 to 48.19, and on supply side, I have 74.41 to 77.34. Next company I'm going to cover is Zoom. So on Zoom, I want you to understand that we are currently, this zone I have depicted here from 74.92 to 59.07 is a monthly demand zone. So understand that this supply zone I have here for intraday is very, very aggressive. So pay attention to that. So 69.95 to 71.43 on this intraday supply. However, this is zone from 74 to 59 is a monthly area. For those of you who are new, just understand that this blue line can be put right here at current price to reduce your risk from 64.12 to 59.07. Now, on the macro side, my supply starts at 137.86 to 156.13. Again, understand that this supply zone is more for intraday purposes and intraday trading. So pay attention to earnings this week, and those are the areas I have for you on Zoom. So Agnilant Technologies has earnings as well this week. For the demand side, I have 90.63 to 87.19, and on the supply side, I have 125.23 to 127.99. The TCOM on the demand side, this is the demand that has been holding up. So we got 32.05 to 30.69, and aggressively for on the supply side, I got 37.84 to 38.85, and on conservative side, 43.39 to 45.19. So keys. On the demand side, I got 119.34 to 112.08. This is the zone that's been holding up price, and that's going to be the aggressive zone. For conservative, you got 108.45 to 102.75. So pay attention to earnings. And on the supply side, you got 149.92 to 153.43. So for coals, on the supply side, I got 26.61 to 27.41, and on the demand side, I got 19.14 to 17.68. Next company is going to be Best Buy. So on the demand side, I got 64.20 to 62.33, and on the supply side, I got 78.34 to 79.60 as your aggressive. Just understand that this area already has worked. So see what you do with earnings and be mindful of this company. It was one of the meme stocks, so expect a lot of volume to be traded on this. And then conservative side, you got 82.41 to 83.88. Next company I got for you is Lowe's this week reporting earnings. So on Lowe's, as you can see, we're pretty much here. On the aggressive side for supply, you got 206.48 to 213.46. And on the conservative side, you got 231.91 to 235.72. And on the demand side, the zone that's holding price currently up is 185.21 to 170.13. If Home Depot is any indication last week of earnings, it really didn't move. It stayed within a $7 window. If that helps you to make a decision this week, There you go. Abercrombie and Fish. So on supply side, you can see we're reaching the supply side on a higher time level, on a higher time frame level. This is going to be 77.65 to 85.92, and on the demand side, I got 43.33 to 40.37. This company I got for you is Baidu. So Baidu on the supply side, I got 133.15 to 136.05, and on the demand side, I got 102.50 to 98.92. And just understand, as you can see in this chart, Baidu tends to gap a lot, to gappy stock. So just be cognizant and aware of that. Another company reporting this week is Dick's Sporting Goods. So on the demand side, I got 102.38 to 97.85. As you can see, this level has worked once, twice, and it's the one that's holding current price. So this can be deemed as aggressive, and it has another zone right below it at 96.29 to 92.04 for the demand. And on the supply side, I have 149.26 for 152.52 for you. Next company that's reporting Tuesday after market, and it's going to be a big one for us this week to see what happens. It's going to be NVIDIA. I still have the same zones for you. As you can see, this area worked for us this past week. And that's going to be 492 to 502. Understand that this is going to be a very aggressive trade. So for this week, I'm going to sit and say that NVIDIA does not have any supply. It is pretty much sitting it's within striking distance of all-time highs within $10. So no supply. Let's see how earnings plays out, and the demand zone I have for you is still the same at 392.89 to 381.58. Nvidia could be the catalyst that moves the market for us this week. Next company I have for you is Autodesk. On the demand side, I have 184.03 to 166.84, and on the supply side, 232.99 to 251.67. For Nordstrom, this is the zone that's been holding price up. So on the demand side, you got 1333 to 1186. And on the supply side, your aggressive is 1716 to 1772. And your more conservative trade is 1856 to $20 even. Urban Outfitters. So on the demand side, you got 2879 to 2329. And on the supply side, you got 3938 to 4198. And just understand you have another level at starting at 44.21 to 52.38. The lower level is your aggressive, the higher level is your conservative area. And that's gonna be Urban Outfitters. Next company, Jack in the Box. So for Jack in the Box, you can see that this is the level that's holding price, and that's gonna be $61 even to 58.22 on the demand side. And on the supply side for you, I got 78.57 to 82.39. Next company I got for you is John Deere. So John Deere currently holding price up is the 345.55 to 329.41 level, and there's another level right below it so that you're aware. 326.33 to 308.88 on the demand side, and on the supply side, you got 423.60 to 441.50. And that's gonna do it for us for earnings. Now covering the FANG stock. Meta, no change. As you can see, our zone is still holding. So on the supply side, 321.74 to 345.08. And given that price is here, let's just adjust that to current price, 335. So on the supply side, 335.18 to 352.16. And on the demand side has not changed. 275.79 to 268.64. Next company I'm gonna cover is Apple. So it's a winning trade for us this week. As you can see, it still hasn't completed our zone. It came out of our zone and it's still holding in this area. So now that this zone has worked for us, this is aggressive this week. And for my conservative traders, we're just gonna take this back up to all-time high, the same thing we did with Nvidia last week. So um 195.53 to 198.57 on the supply side and 167.09 to 159.73. Netflix. So for Netflix, same zone as last week. We got 470.20 to 484.36 on the aggressive side and 506.96 to 527.91 on the conservative side. For supply and on the demand side hasn't changed from last week, 345 to 329 even. Google. So Google, same levels from last week, 122.83 to 118.17. Again, this trade worked out beautifully for us. Again, you on all these trades, you should be doing something, either moving stops up, taking profits, taking targets, or selling options against your positions. And then on the supply side, we got 141.66 to 145.15. That's gonna do it for us when it comes to the FANG stocks. We've covered most of the Magnificent Seven. So the only two left to cover is Tesla and Google. So Tesla, as you can see, we came right to the line and we missed this trade by a dollar or two if you were trying to take it in stocks. However, if you would have taken it in options, should have made some profit this week. So now because this area has worked, I'm going to deem this area aggressive. So on the supply side, you got 247.26 to 257.09. Next level I have for you on supply side is 272.98 to 279.44. And on the demand side, we're going to remain the same at 193.47 to 177.36. And last but not least, Microsoft. As you can see, Microsoft has been on a trajectory. As I said last week, Microsoft has no supply, but you can see that this Friday day, we are starting to show a little bit of weakness. It may just be a drawdown to keep the trajectory going. I think we're getting our Christmas rally early, and if it continues, we can see the market go up to the levels that I've provided. And that's going to do it for the charts this week. So as always, here's my contact information. Feel free to visit the website. I went ahead and I decided to teach classes in December. So go to the website to see when I'm offering courses next month. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, follow me on Facebook, LinkedIn, and please hit that subscribe button and like button on YouTube for me if you would do me the favor. Also, all of you who had a good week last week, congratulations. Again, start thinking about doing something with all these profits you're taking. We're coming into the holiday season, things are slowing down. Wishing everybody a happy Thanksgiving, and all of you can feel free to contact me whenever you want, whether to set up a one-on-one coaching session or a actual class. Till next time, till next weekend, have a plan, safe trading, happy trading, and happy Thanksgiving.